Hi guys, Judy here. I'm in the car again. It's late at night and I'm tired, but I gotta go get my nephew. He's going on this field trip. And it's a celebration of the last day of school, and they're going on a little safari. And I have to go pick him up. So, anyway, the Lord wanted me to make this video about His perfect will versus His permissible will. So I just want to share some insight on that. God loves you and He doesn't condemn you. He has a perfect will for you and He has a permissible will. And He has a backup will. I know it sounds funny, but what I'm saying is He has a backup plan. If you pass up the perfect will and He'll permit you to do certain things. And then if you just really screw up, He has a backup plan. If you just don't even do His permissible, you just do the opposite of what He wants, okay? This is an encouraging message to encourage you and just let you know how good God is. I've always strived to be in His perfect will since I was 16, because I always said, God, I wish you wouldn't have given me a free will, because then I screw things up. I wish you could just sometimes make me a robot to do everything you want me to do. I used to pray that all the time. Why'd you give me a free will? And I told Him I gave Him permission to override my free will. I used to say, override my free will, Lord. Make me choose this no matter what. I know it's going to hurt, but no matter what, make me choose your perfect will, not just what I can get away with, or not just, I just make me, Lord, make me, even though I might not be happy with the outcome and understand it at the time, make me. I used to cry that when I was, all the time. As a young person in my 20s, 30s, I just really always prayed that. And I've learned some things about that. So God is so merciful in my life. I have not even wanted His permissible will. There was times where I didn't even want to talk to Him about what He wanted. And He loved me through it and had a backup plan for when I was completely out of His will. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. God's good. But I really want to challenge you, bride, in this last hour. God's challenged me on this. And I don't ever talk to you about things that I haven't or currently am going through. Okay? I'm telling you. And this is huge. And this is a great bridal challenge. It's a great... we prove our love to our groom through doing this. Okay, so let me tell you what it is. It's His perfect will versus His permissible will for us in this last hour. So the best way for me to teach you is to give you examples from my own life. So after He fell on my son, He asked me through my son, the prophet, Mom, God says quit your job. God says quit your job now. Now, stop. There's no time. You have to quit your job. So I looked in the mirror, because He was telling me that right where the vanity was, and I just looked in the mirror, and I wasn't even looking at me. I was like looking through it, basically. I was just staring in shock, and I went, Lord, I looked in the mirror and I said, if this is you, I need to know, because I'm the sole income provider here. Can't just quit my job. And He answered me like this. He said, yes, it's me. Everything I'm putting in his mouth and what he's saying is me, and you can believe it, that it's me coming through him. So He wanted me to believe the 10-year-old prophet. He didn't want me to, He didn't want to tell me Himself. He made me, and it was very easy to believe. My son was completely overtaken. If there was ever a miracle that, I would have. But it was such a crazy thought that I would do something crazy like that I was like, God, you have to let me know. He said very clear and right away, it's me. You can believe everything coming out of his mouth because it's me. Everything he's saying is me. So, and He was pleading with me to quit my job. And God was pleading with me to quit my job. So I looked in the mirror and I went, this is insane. Okay, I'll do it. I never went back to work. I called in sick. It was a Thursday. So I called in sick on Friday. And then I let them know Monday I wouldn't be back, that there was a family issue going on. That's just like so flaky. But it didn't matter, because I did what my groom wanted. So, but I want to tell you, that was His perfect will for me. But He had a permissible will. He told me I didn't have to do that. Like, I had a choice. You can believe it. It's me. But there was a choice involved. Do I do it or do I not? That was his perfect will for me. Okay. So, after the money started dwindling and I was giving it away and all that, I'm like, okay, can I go back? In his perfect will, he said, you can, and he let me know. And I can't even tell you how I know, because I know I make these videos and some people are like, I wish God talks to me like you. The way I talked about it right now, God doesn't always make it as clear. In retrospect, when I tell you, it's very clear, but he makes me search things out. Sometimes it's very direct communication, but a lot of times he makes me search things out, and a lot of times he won't even talk to me about a subject. So I just want you to get that balance on my relationship with him. It's like that. So in case you think that I'm just all day long hearing perfectly clear, no, he makes me wonder and search and cry and pray and plead and beg and all kinds of different things. Okay. But a lot of times it is just like how I'm telling you. It's this simple relationship back and forth. I'd say 70% of it is like that. And 30% of it is about having to search it out and figure it out. And that's okay. Okay. So anyway, that would have been his perfect will. And so I took the perfect road, which is why after he fell on my son, I got so much revelation. Now, if I would have gone back to work, I would have been blessed, but I would not have gotten all that and I don't regret any of it. I'm so blessed. Okay. But it took faith to do that, and God knows where we're at. And so along the way, I kept asking within those 2 years, can I go back now? Because I think we need money, and I'm getting worried, and, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going to ever ask for money, not 1 cent from anyone. Everything I do for free. I would never do that. And so the Lord was like, he gave me, you can, but I knew in my heart his perfect will was that I wouldn't. So I didn't, until there came a day where there was no choice. I had to, but I always felt like he might have done something believe me, 2 years is a very long time for the sole income provider to, exist without working and getting an income. So I was a faith hero for sure. And I'm shocked at the things I did. I gave away my car that was fully paid for, that was not very old at all, and fully paid for. So that's faith. And I say these things, I'm not bragging, but I am bragging on God and what he gives us the ability to do. It's beautiful. He's so amazing. And I never regret every time I take his highest will. For me, I'm the happiest. I'm not saying I'm not challenged, but it's fulfilling in a way that only a warrior bride could understand. You just feel like a badass. You're like, yeah, I got this. We're doing this, Lord. This is scary. It's freaking me out, but it's you. So yippee, And now there's also his permissible will. God, I just don't think in that, after 2 years, I was like, I don't have a choice. I have to go back. I got to do this. And I felt that I was permitted to, but maybe it wasn't the highest. So I've been working. It'll always be a question to me, because sometimes I think it's part of it, but then sometimes I'm like, no, it wasn't. So that's one of the things I'll know for sure when I see him. Sometimes he leaves shrouded in a mystery for me, and I don't get everything that I ask for or that I want to know. He doesn't do that for me. Anyway, guys, so I have to keep my eye on the road here. I want to encourage you in this last hour to strive to be in his perfect will, and just tell him, Lord, I don't even know what your perfect will is if you don't. And say, but I don't want to be anything but in your perfect will. I don't even want to be in your permissible, what you'll permit me to do. So let me talk about his permissible will. It's something where I pretty much did talk about it. So just think about it. It's something that you don't quite, and I've told God, I don't have the faith to do that. I'll give you an example. Permissible. He told me I could stay home from work, and I said, I don't have the faith for that. But thank you, but I don't have the faith for that. So he permitted me, but his perfect will was that I stayed home. But there's other days where he told me I could stay home, and I did have the faith for it, and I did take the highest plan, and it was a real I reaped great blessing for it. And the day that I was his permitted, it was permissible. He let me go even though he told me not to. I spent, the day was fine. He's not like he's going to curse me and I'm going to be in trouble and get sick and, you know, get in a car accident and all that stuff people come up with. He loved me. He gave me grace, but he did speak to me about, you know, it wasn't the perfect day. And it really was like, wow, Lord, I should have just done what you said, but I just wasn't there. And that's cool. That's cool. He works with us. Just keep your relationship. You're going with him. You know, Lord, I'm going to do your permissible will today because I'm just not up for it, but I trust you. Thank you for your long suffering and patience with me. Get me to where you need me. And I know I'll take a leap of faith the next time. And I did. The next time he said I could stay home, I did. And it was very productive. And a few times since then. So that's just examples from my life and what I deal with. In other areas too, I got a lot of areas I'm really strong in my faith in, but there's some areas where, and that's how everyone's life is. Some areas you're weak in when it comes to believing in God, and some areas you're super strong. You're like, oh, been there, done that. I've seen him answer a million times. I'm good on that one. So this, in this last hour, if we love our groom, our heart is that, God, I want to be in your perfect will, your highest call for me, not what you'll permit me to do and let me get away with. And obviously you don't want to not be in his will and walk away. But even if you are, you can come back. He's not mad at you. He loves you. Strive to be in his most perfect will. And that's what I do right before he comes. And every day I'm like, I want to be in your perfect will. I do. Lord, keep me. Cause me to go your way, even when I feel like I'm going astray, or that I'm feeling afraid and I, you know, can't do another thing that requires faith for that day, you know. And he's good, guys. He's good. And I just want to encourage you to keep plugging along this rapture-centric walk. This waiting for him is not for wimps. And you'll understand what I mean if you've done it for any length of time. To keep your lamps full and to show faith in your groom and to love him and to beckon him to come every day with excitement like it was the first day you were going to see him. That makes him happy that you stay excited. I'm not saying live on adrenaline and be all stressed out all the time, but I'm just saying show faith. It pleases him. And that is the perfect will of God for you in this last hour, to show faith and to do everything he's calling you to do, even if it seems a little scary, okay? I haven't regretted any of it. I've shared some of the crazy things I've done. And I don't share it all because it freaks me out to talk about it because I still haven't, it's scary, okay? But you know what? God is good and he's being faithful and I have no regrets, and either will you and should you. And I love you guys, and we are going to see him so soon. Could be today, could be tonight. And I love you so much. Bye-bye.